Hey everyone, welcome to the London Serato studio here in Hackney. My name is Blakey. Today we've got the Pioneer DJ XDJ-RX3 controller. Now, Serato DJ Pro support is now available for this controller, and I'm going to get it hooked up to the computer and show you everything that it can do. But first of all, let's open this box and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so in the box, you've got the power lead here. This is a European power lead, which I won't need because we've got the UK power lead right here. You have a USB cable so that you can plug the controller into your laptop. And then right here, you've got the instructions and the safety information. Okay, so let's get the XDJ-RX3 up and running with Serato DJ Pro. So all you need to do is click on the source button right here and then select software control, press down on the encoder. And here I have my tracks. So once you've highlighted a track, you can either load it into deck 1 or deck 2. Load it into deck 1. So there we have the track loaded. You can see that the waveform is the Serato DJ Pro colored waveform. Let's scroll through the track a bit. You can zoom in and out of the waveform using the encoder here. Let's go back and get a song loaded into deck 2. So you can see it will zoom in and out of both waveforms just using the encoder here. The screen on this controller is really impressive. It's a very, very similar screen to the CDJ-3000 in terms of size and resolution. It looks super crisp. You can see here on the screen, it gives you the key of the track. You can actually scrub through the song here by running your finger along the waveform. You've got the BPM. You can see the tempo adjust, move in here. You can also change the tempo range. So right now it's on 10%. You can change it to 16, wide, and then back to 6, 10, 16. Over on the right side of the screen, you actually have information regarding the beat effects, which are the hardware effects of this controller. Very similar to the Nexus range of Pioneer mixers. So you have all of your classic effects here: delay, echo, ping pong, spiral, reverb, transform, filter, flanger, phaser, pitch, slip roll, roll, vinyl break, and one of my favorites, helix. So as I mentioned, you can actually see lots of information about the beat effects here on the screen. The screen is actually touchscreen too, so I can actually press the beat effects button here on the screen, and then you actually get even more information. You get XPad, which you can actually use on the screen, which is really cool. It's very useful to have this information on the screen because at a glance, I can see the beat value for the beat effects here. You can see it in milliseconds. You can also see the BPM. Now, one of the major advantages of using the beat effects with Serato DJ Pro is that you never have to tap out the BPM. The BPM will always be assigned to the BPM of the song that you're playing in Serato DJ Pro. So that's just one less thing to think about. If you want to use an echo, you can do that and you don't have to tap it out. So it's one less step. Moving over to the mixer section, you have your color effects here, and you can assign one of these effects to this dial. Again, very much like the Nexus range of mixers. So you've got space, dub echo, sweep, noise, crush, and filter. You also have an aux input here with its own trim here on the front, and you also have a signal here, which will allow you to see at a glance if the signal from the aux input is clipping. Moving on to the jog wheels, they're slightly smaller than the standard CDJ-3000 size, but the feel is very, very similar. They have a jog adjust here as well, which is great. So you can actually adjust the tension. Personally, I like to put it at 12 o'clock, but if you like the heavier feel, then you can do that. And if you want it lighter, maybe for scratching, you can put it there too. They have a display in the middle. If you have artwork for your track, that will display here. The screen will also show whether you have sync enabled, and it will also show if you have vinyl enabled here. This controller also gives you two mic inputs, which are up here. You have a low and a high EQ as well for those mics. This controller has all of your standard club outputs and inputs. You have XLR and RCA master, as well as 1/4-inch jack booth outputs. You can also connect a line and a phono source to each channel. So now let's talk about the performance pad section. So you have 8 performance pads for each deck. There are 4 pad mode buttons, and then there is a secondary pad mode, which you can access by holding shift and pressing the corresponding pad mode. Now, because this is a hybrid controller between Serato and Pioneer, some of the functions that the buttons are labeled with are actually different in Serato. So let's go over those. So the first pad mode is hot cue. The second pad mode, the top row will be auto loop and the bottom row are your beat jump effects. The third pad mode, the top 4 pads will become roll and the bottom 4 pads will be your beat jump again. And the fourth pad mode is the sampler in Serato DJ Pro. To access the 4 secondary pad modes, hold down shift, press the hot cue button. That now becomes all of your saved flips. So if you have any flips that you've created inside Serato, saved to the track, you can access those right here. Holding shift and pressing pad mode number 2 will take you into slicer. Holding down shift and pressing the third pad mode will take you into slicer loop. And finally, holding down shift and pressing the 4th pad mode will take you into pitch play mode. Something important worth noting is that there are a couple of hardware limitations with the RX3 and Serato DJ Pro. The first one is you will not be able to record internally in Serato DJ Pro when connected to the RX3. However, there is a very simple workaround for this. All you need to do is get yourself a USB drive, plug that USB drive into the USB 2 port, press master record, and then it will record the master output straight onto the USB stick. Very simple. The other hardware limitation worth noting is that you will not be able to use laptop speakers or make audio available to other applications, which is very useful for live streaming. There are workarounds for this too. Please take a look at the support article in the description of this video. So that covers the Serato DJ Pro integration with the Pioneer DJ XDJ-RX3 controller. Now, if you're a working DJ out there in the clubs, chances are you will come across this controller at some point. So all the info in this video should have you covered. Thanks for watching, see you next time.